Sheila Lamb, and I'm with the Virginia SBDC Network. For those of you that are not familiar with our organization, the Virginia Small Business Development Center is a partnership program between the U.S. Small Business Administration, George Mason University, and local host institutions throughout Virginia. With 26 locations across the Commonwealth, we provide training and technical assistance to small businesses in their local communities. Our one-on-one advising services are available at no charge. Today's webinar, Intro to State Government Contracting with SBSD, is presented by the Virginia SBDC Network in partnership with the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity. We are recording today's presentation, and it will be posted on our website, virginiasbdc.org. Due to the large number of participants, everyone's microphone is muted and the chat feature is turned off. But if you have questions during the presentation, you can type those into the Q&A box. We will adjust them during and at the end of the session. We have also enabled a live transcript function, which you can show or hide via your own meeting controls. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter for today's session, Chris Lay. Ms. Lay has worked with small businesses since 2007 when she joined a small woman-owned marketing company, Asian Marketing Services, as their Director of Business Development. She started the SWaM mentoring program and the Entrepreneur Roadmap program at Northern Virginia Community College. She was a marketing consultant at the Business Development Assistance Group, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping minority business owners. In 2016, she joined the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity as a business services manager, covering the Northern Virginia region. She continues to work with aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners to get them ready and into the Commonwealth of Virginia's procurement system by providing training, workshops, and one-on-one counseling sessions. Please join me in welcoming Chris Lay.
Thank you, Sheila. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Sheila, for hosting us today. I am joined by my colleague, Angela Barber. She's my counterpart who covers the Eastern Shore and Hampton Roads, and I cover Northern Virginia. So we're the dynamic duo. I hope everyone's doing well. You're enjoying this current heat wave that we're having. It really feels nice to be above freezing, right? Again, I'm Chris Lay, and I'm with the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity. So if you want to learn how to get into government contracting in Virginia, you're at the right place. This webinar, we're going to give you the basic steps and information to get you started, and Angela's going to be answering all the Q&A while I'm speaking. So if you have questions as I'm presenting, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A. So we are your small business agency here in Virginia, and our mission is really to provide education, assistance, and access to capital to small businesses. We're here to support small business and help you become successful wherever you are in your business cycle. How do we do that? Well, we have 4 departments that work with businesses and help you. The Virginia Small Business Financing Authority is our financing arm. They have direct loan programs, credit enhancing programs, and bond and grant programs. Angie and I are with the Business Development Outreach Division. Our team works with businesses across the Commonwealth of Virginia, offering one-on-one business counseling of various types of training with partners such as SBDC. We collaborate with all our resource partners to provide training events, workshops, conferences, symposiums, all kinds of things to help you and train you as business owners. We are the certifying agency for the SWaM and DBE certification. The SWaM certification is Virginia's small business program. It is for small businesses, micro-sized businesses, women-owned and minority-owned businesses. The DBE certification is a federal disadvantaged business enterprise certification, and it's really specific in its purpose. It's for those businesses interested in working on transportation projects that uses federal funds. And then lastly, the Sourcing and Compliance Division work with buyers and other agencies to make sure that other agencies across the Commonwealth are strategically sourcing small businesses on state contracts. Virginia has an aspirational goal of 42%. That means that we want to spend 42% of our contracting dollars with SWaM certified businesses. So the Sourcing and Compliance Division work with agencies to make sure that we're all meeting that 42% goal. So getting into government contracting. You want to get into government contracting. The first and really the only requirement is that you register your business in our procurement system, which is called EVA, and it stands for Electronic Virginia. This is a procurement portal, and everything you need to know about state government contracting can be found in the EVA website. It is a tool used by over 245 state agencies, colleges, and universities, as well as most of the local governments up here in Northern Virginia. It's where you're going to find the opportunities. You can do your market research, respond to opportunities, and submit your bids. And this is how Virginia does government contracting, our procurement process. For any opportunity up to $10,000, we only need one price quote, so it's not competitive, and we call those micro purchases. Micro purchases are a priority for micro-certified firms. Because it's non-competitive, this is where that business development and strategic relationship building comes into play, where buyers will call you if you're a micro-certified firm when they know you and they have a need for your business or your services. The next level up would be a small purchase. That's anything over $10,000, but under $100,000. These are competitive. We do need 3 price quotes, and the priority is given to a small business that is certified. And then large purchases. In Virginia, large purchase is anything over $100,000. And most times it's either going to be an ISB, which is invitation for bid, or an RFP, which is request for proposal. These opportunities are typically sealed competitive bidding. ISB opportunities are awarded based on price, and RFP opportunities are based on the best overall proposal. So what do you need to register in EVA? It's quite easy. You can probably do it within 10 minutes. Registering in EVA, you need to have an EIN number. You have to submit the Virginia Substitute W-9 form, which is different from the IRS W-9 form, and you have to know your commodity codes. So here's some screenshots. So when you get the presentation, you will have it for reference. If you go to the EVA homepage, which is eva.virginia.gov, click on Register Now, that last panel. Registering in EVA is free. EVA will charge you, though, when you win a contract or a bid on EVA, 1% of the contract price. So keep that in mind when you're bidding on opportunities based on price. And here's how the EVA system works. You register your business in the system. You put in your contact information and the commodity codes in your profile of all the products and all the services that you provide. Then the EVA system will match you up with opportunities that's currently available in the system based on the commodity codes in your profile. It will send you an email telling you of this opportunity. And because you're matched your opportunities based on your commodity codes, the most important thing in creating your EVA profile is to know your correct commodity codes for the goods and services that you provide. So let's spend a little bit of time explaining it so you make sure that you have the right codes. For those of you who do federal government contracting, it is not the same commodity code system. State and local government uses NIGP commodity codes, and there are like over 70,000 commodity codes. You can look up your codes by typing in a keyword, but I like to go to the category and open up the category to find the specific codes in the category. So if your business provides a service, then your commodity code should start with a 9. It is a 5-digit system, and the first number in your code should be a 9. Any other number that it starts with, then it's for a product. All service commodity code starts with a 9. Like I said, it is a 5-digit system. The first 3 numbers tells you the category of goods and services. The last 2 numbers tells you the specific good or service within the category. So if a code ends in the 00, like 91800, that is a category, and 91800 is a main category for consulting. If you do a consulting business, you do not want 91800 in your profile. click open the category and look at the specific codes within that category and add those codes to your profile. Because remember, you are matched with opportunities based on the codes in your profile. So if you put in a category such as consulting, and you can see on the screen, this is just the A's. It's a very long list of unrelated consulting services. So if you put in the category consulting, you're going to be matched up with every single consulting code in that category. So don't do it. Open it up, put in the specific codes of what you do. So the EVA system is with the Department of General Services. They are more of a procurement agency. They maintain the system, they run the system, and so they provide training on the system. If you were to go to the EVA homepage, scroll down to you see the EVA vendor outreach events, you can sign up for the training. It is a series of 2 workshops. I recommend you take them both. They are typically held on Wednesdays from 10 to 12. Workshop number 1 is your basic foundation. This is how Virginia does procurement. And then workshop number 2 really teaches you how to navigate the system. Because all the data you need is in EVA, all the open opportunities, all the awarded contracts, future procurement forecasts, buyers, agencies, vendors, everything. Every piece of data is in the EVA system. And workshop number 2 can teach you how to run reports, find that data, and really to learn how to navigate the system. And if you ever need help with the system, how to navigate it, like if you forgot your password or anything, reach out to EVA customer care. If you can't log in, they can help you. If you don't know how to bid something online, like the technical piece of it, they can help you there too. And that's the procurement piece. To help small businesses get into government contracting, SBSD offers 2 certification programs, the SWaM certification and the DBE certification. Let me first start by saying that certification is not required to do government contracting in Virginia, but it's helpful and you can get advantages. And many businesses who are currently do business with Virginia who are not SWaM certified, but for a small business, it can help you get in the door, maybe be a subcontractor, build your past performance. So it's helpful to have, but not required to have. So let's start with the DB certification. It is a federal certification and it's from the U.S. Department of Transportation. It's very specific in its purpose. It's really for businesses in the transportation construction industry. And it's used on transportation projects that are federally funded. And it helps businesses be a part of this large project as a subcontractor because there will be DBE subcontracting goals. So if this is your industry and you want to learn more about this certification, I will have a contact person for you at the end of the presentation. Reach out to him for help. And then we have the SWaM certification. This is for businesses in all industries, and it is Virginia's Small Business Development Program. It's to help small businesses get into government contracting. And SWaM stands for a small business, a women-owned, and a minority-owned business. And it also includes a micro size. Again, I said, Virginia has an aspirational goal of 42%. And we want to spend 42% of our contracting dollars with SWaM certified businesses and 50% goal of subcontracting with SWaM certified businesses on new capital outlay construction projects. So when you apply for the SWaM certification, there's going to be a long list of like 10 different designations that you can apply for at the same time with the same application. So I'm going to go over some of those, and especially these 4, because these are the ones that we will certify you for. SWaM certification is an umbrella certification. It has like 10 different designations. A small business defined in Virginia is a business with 250 employees or less, or they have $10 million or less in gross revenue. Note the or. To be certified as a small business, you only need to meet one of the 2 criteria. So either the number of employee or the gross revenue. And when we say employee, we only refer to W-2 employees. 1099s don't count towards that employee count. And if you're the small business owner and you're working your business, You also don't count as an employee unless you pay yourself as an employee at the end of the year with a W-2. Now, because small is really not that small because Jack 4, we came up with a micro-sized business about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. A micro-sized business must have less than 25 employees, and they have to have less than $3 million in gross revenue. You have to meet those criteria to be certified as a micro. You have to have the employee number and the revenue number. And if you outgrow this micro, then you can be small for a very long
Chris, we can't hear you right now.
Yep.
Angela, can you hear?
No, first week she was frozen.
Yeah.
Now I can't hear her.
All right, can you hear me now? Because my Zoom went out for a bit there.
Okay,
There it is.
yes, you're back. Thank you. You might want to
All
back
right.
up just a few, just to catch everyone up.
So what did I leave off? Was it the micro size or the women minority? So the
Micro.
micro size, okay, micro size, you have to
Yeah.
have 25 employees or less, and you can only have a maximum of $3 million in gross revenue. Micro size designation means you have to meet both criteria. So you have to meet both the number of employees and the revenue limit. If you outgrow this micro size, you can still be small for a very long time. And women minority owned businesses, the owner has to have at least 51% ownership, and they have to control the business in order to qualify. Some additional designations are the service disabled veteran. In Virginia, we do not have a veteran certification. We only have a service disabled veteran certification. And the only nonprofit who is eligible for certification would be an ESO, Employment Service Organization. ESOs are those organizations who hire people with disabilities, such as Goodwill, but they have to be certified as an ESO through CARF first. So there are some federal certifications out there from the SBA, such as the 8A certifications, the Federal Service Disabled Veterans, the Federal Women-Owned Small Business, and the Federal Economically Disadvantaged.
Chris, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but your slides have disappeared. Can you load those back on,
There
please?
again.
They must have dropped off when you dropped off Zoom. I was just enjoying
All right,
listening
let
to
me
you so
see.
much. Someone pointed that out, sorry.
All right. Are we back?
It looks like you're headed that way.
Technology.
Exactly, right?
Oh, I know.
All right, we're back.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. Sorry about that.
You're welcome. No worries. I'm glad I saw you. All right, so did you hear about the federal certifications, or do I need to go through that again?
I would go ahead and go through it.
Okay, so if you are already certified with any of these federal certifications on the screen, feel free to select those designations when you apply for the SWaM certification. If you are not already certified, do not select these designations because we do not certify you for that. And if you select it, we are going to ask you for proof that you are certified from the SBA for any of these certifications from the SBA that you selected. So if you are, then we recognize that, and we will add that to your SWaM profile. Okay, SWaM certification is done online. We have a certification application portal. It is free. You do the application online, you upload your supporting documents online, and you click on submit. And once you click on submit, you just wait. It is 60 business days for certification. So think at least 3 calendar months. Once you are certified, that certification is going to be good for 5 years. After 5 years, you expired. But if you want to apply again, you just apply again to be certified. And you apply for all the ones that you are still eligible for. So I want to spend a little bit of time explaining to you the different supporting documents that you may have to submit. Now remember, supporting documents are to support your individual application. So not everyone is not going to have the same list of supporting documents for their application because it really depends on how you answer your responses in your application. But these 4 on the screen is going to be asked of everyone. Everyone will have to submit proof of ID. That's really just your driver's license. You have to at least be a green card holder or a U.S. citizen in order to be eligible. So if you don't at least have a green card, you are not going to be eligible. You have to submit your resume and make sure your business is listed on your resume. And then documented proof of owner's contribution. This is simply proof that you are the owner of this business and you started this business with your own money. That Walmart didn't just create this dummy small business company, put you in front of it and say, hey, certify me and I'm a micro business and give me advantages. So prove to us that this business belongs to you. That could be any receipt that you spent money to create the business. If you are an LLC and you created that LLC with the State Corporation Commission, you had a filing fee of $100. The SEC gave you a receipt for that $100 filing fee. You can use that receipt as your proof. If your business has been around for more than 5 years and you don't have any receipts left as proof, then just write us a letter of explanation. In the letter, you can just itemize what you spent to create your business, sign that letter, and upload that letter as your proof. Anything like the LLC filing fee, the annual filing fee, if you had to pay for a business license, you needed a home-based business permit, anything that you spent money on to get this business up and running, that is your proof. And then copies of professional license and permits. There are a lot of businesses who are in an industry that is regulated. And you have to have a license or a certification in order to do that business, such as if you're a contractor, or if you're a realtor, insurance agent, professional engineering, architect. Those businesses have to be licensed. We want to see that license. In addition to that industry certification and licensing, we also want to see your local government business license. And in Northern Virginia, a lot of the local government here also require you to have a home-based business permit if your business is inside your home, even if no one ever comes to your home. No clients, no customers, no one ever comes. If you have a business in a residentially zoned place, you have to have a home-based business permit. Now, taxes and employer quarterly filings, those are only if you answer that in your application. So if you put in your application that you had money, you had revenue, you had gross revenue in your application, we're going to want to see your tax filing. If you put in your application that you have employees, again, they're W-2 employees, so you have to have tax withholding. If you have that, we want to see your Form 91 filing. If you're a corporation, we want to see these documents. You have to submit all of these unless you're a non-stock, then you don't have to do the last 2 requirements, but everything else you have to submit. I'm going to guess that most people here are limited liability companies. So you have to submit these 3 items. When you file the paperwork to create your LLC with the State Corporation Commission, that document that you file, that form, is called the Articles of Organization. So get a copy of your actual filing. When you file the Articles of Organization with the State Corporation Commission, they send you the Certificate of Organization. We want to see their certificate. If you're an LLC with more than 1 owner, we want to see an operating agreement also. If you are the only owner or the only member of your LLC and you don't have an operating agreement, for this requirement, you can just write us a letter saying that you don't have one and you're the only owner of the LLC and upload that letter as the requirement, and we'll accept that letter. Now, if you're a sole proprietor, a franchise, or a partnership, we want to see these additional things. I've included some screenshots, so when you get the presentation, you can use it as a guide. If you go to our certification application portal, this is the login screen that you get. If you are new to our system and you don't have a username and password, don't panic, because you just make one up. make up a username, make up a password, and then the first step to do is to register that username and password in the system. You're gonna type in your made up username and password, and you're gonna click register. Once you click register, you get this screen. Fill this screen out, again, click register. And then we're gonna send you an email that looks something like this. We wanna make sure you're not a robot, so click on confirm your account, and it will take you back to the login screen. You will notice now that the login screen does not have the options to register. So you're just gonna put in the username and password, and this time you're gonna click login. And this is what you're gonna see. SWaM application or SWaM certification is linked to the EIN number of the business. So the first thing I wanna ask you when you start or link a new application is your EIN number. And it's gonna find out whether or not that EIN number is already in our database. If, for example, you try to apply for SWaM certification years ago, even if it's 10 years back, if your EIN number is in our system, it's gonna recognize that it's already in there and you cannot start another file. You can't start a new application. You have to go back to the file that was created before for that EIN number and update that file. So you're gonna put in your EIN number and it's gonna ask you one of two things. Either it's gonna say your EIN number is not in our system, would you like to start a new application? You say yes, and you do a new application. Or it's gonna say, your EIN number is already in our system. What is your SWaM number? So you have to know the number of the application that was linked to the EIN number before. And if you don't know it, reach out to someone at SBSD. If you're in Northern Virginia, reach out to me and I can tell you what that number is and look it up for you. So when you do start a new application, this is what it looks like. And this is the beginning of the application. It's a screen, so you just go down the screen, you answer all the questions. First, you select every designation that you want to apply for, and you can apply for everything you qualify for and eligible for at the same time with the same application. When you're done, you click the next screen, and it's gonna come up with a list of the documents that you have to submit. You notice on the screen that there's only one upload field for every requirement. For example, if you have multiple owners, you have to submit the driver's license, which is the proof of ID for all the owners. You have to scan the driver's license for all the owners as one PDF because there's only one upload button for one document per requirement. So keep that in mind. If you have multiple owners, scan everything as one file. All right, so once you start an application, you're going to be assigned a 6-digit tracking number that it becomes your application number, and it becomes your SWaM tracking number, and then when you're certified, it is your SWaM number. It's never going to change. That SWaM number is linked with the EIN number. And you can always check the status of your application by going to certification status check, put in your application number or SWaM tracking number, and it's going to tell you the status. But it is 60 business days for processing. So remember that the first month or so is just going to say pending. So don't worry about it. It will get processed within that 60 business day window. So how does certification help you? What's the point of getting certified if you want to do government contracting? Even though I just told you it is not required, I also told you there are advantages. So remember when I said that SWaM certification has multiple designations? There's small, micro, women, minority, service disabled veteran, et cetera, et cetera. The ones that really help you in procurement is small and micro. And that's because Virginia is gender and race neutral when it comes to procurement. We only look at the size of your business to give you those priority and advantages. So for micro purchases, these are the opportunities $10,000 and under. The priority is given to a micro certified firm. For small purchases, that priority is given to a small certified firm. And for those opportunities, anything under $100,000, most of those opportunities typically going to be awarded based on price, where the lowest bid will win. However, if you are a micro certified firm or a small certified firm, and your price quote is within 5% of the lowest bid from a non-certified firm, you actually win that opportunity. For example, If I am big business and I'm Walmart, and Angie here is a micro or small certified firm, she's SWaM certified. My bid is $100. She's competing against me, but she's at $105. So by normal rules, I would win because I have the lowest bid. But because she is a SWaM certified business and her price is within 5% of the lowest bid from a non-certified firm, which is my bid, she will actually get awarded that opportunity at a price of $105, even though it was technically not the lowest bid. And lastly, for opportunities that's large, anything over $100,000, if that is an RFP opportunity, typically it's going to have a requirement that you have to come up with a small business plan. So if you're submitting this proposal and you're the prime, but you're not certified, then you have to come up with a plan of what part of this contract, how much of this contract you're going to sub out to a certified firm. That plan that you come up with is graded along with the rest of the proposal. If you're the SWaM business and you're applying for this and submitting the proposal, the only thing you need to do to get the full points for this requirement is put in your SWaM application number or your SWaM number, and you get the full points. You don't have to sub out any part of this contract to anyone else. You can keep the whole thing and still get all the points because you're the SWaM certified business. Keep in mind, we have a 42% goal for discretionary spend with SWaM businesses. That's quite a lot. We also have a 3% goal spend with service-disabled veterans. So fiscal year 24, we were at 32%. And we spent over $6 billion. I can't do the mental math, but if you do 32% of $6 billion, that's a lot of money that was awarded to a small SWaM certified firm. I've not checked this year yet, but I think we'll probably be close to hitting that 42% this year. Now, if you want to do the application and you need help and you're outside of the Northern Virginia area, these are the people who can help you. And then lastly, this is the contact for people up here in Northern Virginia. If you have any questions about any of our finance programs, you can reach out to Don Jakubek. If you want to do the DBE certifications, if that applies to your business, you can reach out to Richard Gordon. For all other inquiries on help with your business, you can reach out to me. I want to thank you all for your time and attention. And now let's see, are there any questions?
Thank you, Chris. That was wonderful information. So Angela has been working hard in the Q&A box.
So I am, yes, I am fire back answers. And so hopefully, and they're the people that are actually logged in and has access. So I don't know if anybody is here that's only on their phone. So if you're only on your phone, you won't see these. And so I've been answering questions. So I am actually now in the process of answering a question. So from this point on, I can actually answer them out loud. And Chris,
Okay.
we can answer them out loud at this point.
Thanks.
So
Do you want me to read them or do you want to just read them and I'll sit back and take it all in?
Oh, just
I'm
relax.
happy to
Just
do that.
relax.
Okay.
Just relax. Yep.
Thank you.
So, yes. So from Amanda Beckner, she says, you have to have a home-based business permit. I have one from the county. Are you saying that I need one from the state too? So the business, so you must be registered with the SCC, which is the State Corporation Commission, and that is to conduct business in the state of Virginia. If you are an LLC or corporation, your business license is specific to your locality. You want to contact your city's commissioner of the revenue to ask if your business is required to have a business license for that particular type of business. I do have some companies that based on whatever city they're in, they may not be required to have a specific business license. Just because you are home-based does not necessarily mean you are not required to have a business license. You want to contact your commissioner of the revenue. Example, I had a company who is an online newspaper in Gloucester. They, based on the fact that she is an online newspaper, her city does not require her to have a business license. So again, State Corporation Commission, that is for you to be registered to conduct business in the state. That is not a business license. You want to check with your locality's commissioner of the revenue to see if your industry or your business is required to have a business license, okay?
Angie,
So,
let me add up here, Northern
Sure.
Virginia, it's not always the commissioner of revenue.
Okay.
And a business license and a home-based business permit are two different things from two different departments.
right,
So wherever your business is located, check with your local government.
right. So that applies because every city is different. And thank you, Chris. You're a county, so it might not be with the commissioner of the
Yeah.
revenue. The best thing that you can do if you're not sure, because we don't know all of the 900 local governments in the state of Virginia, is to really just kind of do a quick Google business license for the county of or the city of. If you do that, you will be able to find who to contact. And different cities have different rules regarding being a home-based business. So you want to make sure you just check with your city or your county.
And the best way to find out that is to always connect with your local government economic development people. They can help you navigate your local government requirements.
This is from Lamis Aquel. I'm looking for SWaM number, please. So if you have already created your SWaM application, all you need to do, if you go back and you log in to your SWaM application, your certification number is typically in the upper left-hand corner. If you do not see that, in order to get the SWaM certification number, you have to already have created an application using your EIN. And if you still have some difficulty, feel free to email myself or Chris. And Chris, if you want to, you can put either one of ours or both of our email addresses in the chat. We can look up your certification number, but we need your EIN number to be able to do that, okay?
Next from Karen, she is looking for assistance with her SWaM application. If you're in Northern Virginia, feel free to reach out to me. If you're somewhere else, then you can reach out to me and I would let you know who the person who can help you is. If you're in the Eastern Shore, Hampton Roads, then that would be Angie.
That would be me. And I am happy to drop my email address. I will actually drop it in the chat. For those that are in the Hampton Roads area, I am everything from the Eastern Shore up to Williamsburg, okay? So I'm gonna just go ahead and drop that in the chat.
You have to make sure that it's to everyone. And I will put
It
my
says-
email there too.
Yes, it does say to everyone. And you want me to put yours in as well, Chris?
I have it.
Okay, great. All right, so that's to everyone. Okay, awesome. The next question is, good afternoon. I submitted my SWaM certification application in November. I received an email that an officer has been assigned to review the application. When can I expect to hear back on the status of the review? So certifications can take up to 3 months. We say 60 business days, but again, it could take up to 3 months. And that is an estimate. That is the average time. So it also, applications are reviewed in the order received when they are assigned to the certification officers. Now, you can always log back in to your specific application, click your application to open it. On the right-hand side, once you open your application, you will see your progress timeline. It is an estimate, okay? Not every application takes the same amount of time to review because it depends on how many documents are being reviewed, as well as the number of applications in the queue. Typically, if there are any questions that come up or any additional documents that are needed during the review process, you will receive an email directly asking you for those specific documents. Chris, you want to add to anything?
Depending on when you submit your application, November was early November or late November. November and December, we had a lot of holidays.
Yes, also.
So it might take you until the end of February or early March to get that certification.
Okay.
But you're definitely within the 60 business window right now.
Yes, you are. All right.
Okay. Jason has a question about opportunities. If you're talking about the EVA system, it would be in eva.virginia.gov and then go to Virginia Business Opportunities. All the open opportunities will be listed there.
Great. For Maggie, let's see. What is the contact number? Contact number for whom, please? You'll let us know which contact number you need.
Where can I find webinars for VSBFA loan programs? So they don't host their own webinars just for loan programs, because I think that's something that they can say in like 10 minutes. But you can contact the regional lending managers if you go to our website, and I can put that in here. And then just look up their contacts and speak to the VSBFA people. And they can explain all the programs and find which one works best for your needs.
Okay. And say, Liz, how many small businesses do you get certified yearly? So our database currently, based on the current fiscal year, there's about 16,000 businesses that are actually certified. The certification is good for 5 years. So that means that every day someone is expiring and every day somebody is being certified. And so we do have some statistical information that's broken down based on our fiscal year. And I want to say the small business I want to say we had over 8,000 businesses, maybe that are small designations. So we have that broken down by small, micro, woman, minority owned, and service disabled veteran. And we do have a slide, Chris, and I've got one if Chris probably has one as well. And so that information is public. One of the things that you may want to also do is what percentage of them gets to obtain a contract with the federal government. So obtaining means they're winning contracts. We cannot give you information on federal. We are not the federal government. We are the state of Virginia. So we can provide you with that information for the state of Virginia. One of the places that you can go is our expenditure dashboard. That is public information, and it breaks down where we are spending, how we're spending, whom we're spending with yearly or quarterly. And I will go out to our website and I will grab that link and I'll drop it in the chat so everyone can have that. So that is how where you can see what the state is doing in terms of those companies that are actually doing business with the state of Virginia. As far as the federal government, I don't know, Sheila, if you have any contacts with the SBA that could provide that information, but I am pretty sure that is public information as well.
Yeah, I can look into it, but yeah, I'm like you. I'm sure it's public information. So
okay, and we can kind of do a little bit of
Craig has a question.
Okay.
Is there a way to receive or request feedback on proposals that you were not awarded? So I would reach back out to the contracting officer, and you can ask for a debrief. Sometimes they will give it to you, sometimes they won't. They take really slow to give back to you, but that's your only way to get a briefing on your proposal, is to contact that contracting officer. Next question is, I am SWaM certified, but I do not see that cert ID. It is in your, if you are certified and we sent you an email with your certification, your certificate, it would be in certificate, or you can log into the certification portal and look it up. It would be under your account. So go to the top right corner, click that little person icon and go to your account and it would be listed there.
Yep. And if you are certified, you would also be listed in the SWaM business directory. So you can always search for your business in the SWaM business directory, and I'll be happy to drop that link in the chat as well. But if you are currently certified, you will be listed in the directory. The moment you expire, or if you have not been approved yet, you won't find your company there. But that's another good place to get your certification number, or in your EVA profile. So when you become SWaM certified and you have an EVA profile, your SWaM certification information populates to your EVA profile as well. So there's just a couple of places that you can go look as well.
Okay, Maggie asked, my business is new and I'm being asked for federal tax information. If you're being asked federal tax information when you're applying for SWaM certification, that is because you probably put in that you had revenue. We only want to see your taxes if you have revenue. So Becky asked, is there a test to pass of hands-on competence that needs to be shown in order to achieve a SWaM certification? I'm not sure what test of pass of hands is, but to be certified, you don't have to pass any test. There's not even a minimum number of years of service or number of minimum employees. You can be a brand new business that just started your business yesterday, maybe you're filing yesterday with the State Corporation Commission, and be eligible to apply for SWaM right away. So it's not like those federal certifications where you have to have certain requirements to be eligible.
Maggie was saying that she was on the Eastern Shore. So Maggie, I would be your contact person. So what I will do is I will respond to your question in the Q&A, but my email address was also put into the chat. So I would be your contact person. Let's see.
I'll just interject a second. We have a lot of questions. Some are just comments that have dropped in. I'll just point out that if your question does not get handled here live, you can always send it to help@virginiasbdc.org, and I can forward it on to either Angie or Chris to assist with if they're good with that.
In terms of SWaM or EVA, it doesn't matter which one you do first. EVA is a simple registration. Once you register, you're in. SWaM is a certification. You have to have your application processed. That is going to take a little bit more time, so it's up to you which one you want to start first.
Okay, so Chris, where are you? I am. Which question are you on?
I'm just going from the bottom up.
All right, so
That's why I couldn't follow you.
Yes, okay, so I will respond to, I'll work for the other direction. So
okay, I went back up.
okay, so from anonymous attendee, can someone check the status of my SWaM? I did give instructions on how you can check that. You don't have your tracking number. You can always log in, but I will say, please email me directly, and I am happy to check the status of your SWaM application as well. And again, I have posted my email address in the chat, as well as posted it a couple times in the answer response. So Marissa George, if you email me directly with your EIN number, I will check your status of your application for you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there are people who put their EIN number in the Q&A, but you can always check your status on our website under application status check. You don't need a SWaM number. You can type in your business name and check it there. Oh, I see a question. Do you have to have your business in Virginia to enroll in this program? So if you're talking about the SWaM certification, then it depends on the state where your business is headquartered. There are certain requirements depending on where you are headquartered. If you're talking about EVA, then you do not have to be. Any business can register in EVA. You do not have to be a Virginia-based business to be in EVA. And I can put in the chat a link for people to check whether or not they're eligible for the SWaM certification based on where their business is located, or out of state businesses, I should say.
And I will say, for anyone that's putting their EIN number in the Q&A, please email us directly, because that requires us to log in and to check that. So we can't do that in this format. So please email us directly to check the status again. And like Chris said, you can actually go to our website and choose the link for checking status, or you can log in to your SWaM application to get a better view of where you are. But please email us directly if you need assistance with that. Let's see. Is there a best way, from Anonymous, is there a best way to sort the leads per future closing date? What I'm going to recommend, there are several different things that you can do within the EVA platform, but EVA also offers free tutorials, free virtual workshops every Wednesday. Okay. The first one is how to sell to Virginia. The second one is how to generate leads. So that question will be best answered by actually attending those workshops. It will definitely provide a lot of guidance, and it will answer most of your questions about how to use the EVA platform. Those are free workshops every Wednesday. They're virtual. And if Chris has a moment, or we can put the link to the actual calendar in the chat for everybody, okay? Eric Samuels, what would be the commodity code for youth mentoring? So we don't know that off the top of our head, but we were happy to provide assistance with helping you locate that. So you feel free to email either myself or Chris, and we'll be happy to see if there's a code that matches the services that you provide.
Someone's saying that the links provided in chat can't be copied.
I'm not sure why that's not working for them, but I just responded that as a reminder, you all are going to get an email with the slides that will have the links in them. So that will go out within probably a day or two, and you'll have that information handy. So
this next question, do you have any quick tips for using AI to submit an RFP? Yes, don't. Do not use AI because the reason why I say that, RFPs are very specific for whatever goods or services that are being asked for. And they can be very different, local, state, and federal. And so there is no template to actually use to respond. You need to read an RFP specifically to make sure that you are providing the information. Some people use AI to craft the language, if that is what you want to do, to make sure that the language that you're using is correct. But I would highly recommend that you write your RFP, because you want to be able to explain to us why you are the best for doing the job that we are asking for. Unless Chris has something else she would want to say to that, I definitely would say, learning how to respond to an RFP, do not rely on AI to do that. You definitely want to learn the process for responding to an RFP at any level of government.
Yes, I agree. You have to learn about your own proposals.
Yes.
We had a couple of questions about DEI. One was, how does DEI change WOSD businesses? So the state does not have any set aside the priorities given to women or minority-owned businesses, so it does not affect us. And WOSD is a certification from the federal government, so I think the federal government will be more affected, but we don't have set-aside programs for women-owned or minority.
Right.
Our priority programs are only for the size of a business, whether they're small size or micro size.
Okay. From Amanda again, the Virginia SEC sent me a copy of my certificate file and a miscellaneous file that confirmed they received my articles of organization for my single member LLC. Does the miscellaneous file from the state serve as the document required on the SBSD app for articles of organization? So your articles and your certificate of organization and your articles and your certificate of incorporation, if you are a corporation, these are public documents. You can log in or just simply go to scc.virginia, spell it out, .gov, click on business and business home and search for your company. Your filing history is public. You want to use the documents that you are actually filed with the SCC. So I'm not quite sure what the copy of your certificate file. So you do receive that copy of the certificate. Most do not get a copy of the actual articles. We are looking for the document that says specifically certificate and specifically articles. So you do have to have that. And again, you can acquire the articles by going to the scc.virginia.gov, searching for your business entity and finding it in your filing history, okay?
we've got about 5 minutes. I think we can get through it.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
also responding to them typing answers in while she's speaking.
Great.
So we're down to 5.
All right. And you're
Tag team.
welcome. Yep. You're welcome, Amanda. Amanda, thank you much. Your advice to remove 91800 and to sign up for the webinars to make a difference in my business. Awesome. Glad that that information will be helpful, and you are welcome. Let's see. Jason Williams, can you post the opportunity site in the chat?
Okay, I'll put it in.
Okay, thanks. Chris will handle that for you. So look in the chat for that link. And Marissa, when going out getting information on a proposal or bid, can a business refuse to give you prices or quotes for the reason that someone else asked before for the same bid? When that proposal or bid requires you to submit your price, you have to submit that. That is part of the bidding process, okay? Though those prices are not with the state, because typically these proposals are usually sealed. Now, if you submit a quote with the state of Virginia, we do not list the quotes until after that solicitation has been won. So you have to, and I do know there are cities that do post their quotes prior to awarding. So that is why it's important to know what the purchasing rules are for local, state, and federal. So for the state of Virginia, if that requires you to submit your pricing, that is part of the request. If you do not submit it, your proposal, they will not consider it. Okay? They will not consider it. So just keep in mind that with the state of Virginia, your pricing is not made public until after that solicitation has been awarded. Now that's state. And I don't know if Chris wants to add to that.
So if you want to sort of do your recon and learn about what others have bid in the past so that when you're bidding on that product or service, you're in at least like the ballpark, that's where the EVA training comes in handy. Learn to run those EVA reports. EVA reports tell you how much an agency has spent on a specific service or a good in the past. Like last fiscal year, if we bought chairs, there's a specific kind of chair, you can run a report and find out how much we paid for that chair. So if you sell the same chair, you'll know how much you should be bidding, because you could be totally out of ballpark if you bid too high, or lose money if you bid too low. So learn how to do those EVA reports and take that EVA training. That would be workshop number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, thank you. And Amanda.
Someone wants to know about where can you see what was awarded? That is all in EVA. Again, learn to do those reports.
Right,
There, in EVA, you can find a list of mandatory contracts. Those are contracts that we have awarded already. You can get a report on purchase orders that were issued. So all that is in EVA.
Yes, that's why we highly encourage you to take those workshops. They will answer a lot of questions that were posted today on EVA. From Amanda, yes, we did say that if you are a new business and you have not filed a tax return, you may still apply for SWaM certification. You're just going to enter 0 in the revenue where indicated in the actual application. Now, I will say this. If you started your business in 2015 and you're telling us that you don't have tax returns for the most recent 3 years, that will raise a question. And once the application is under review, they will ask you to provide an explanation. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. Life happens, things do happen. But again, if you are a new business and you have not filed a tax return, yes, you may still apply for SWaM certification.
Okay, ladies, we're
Because
down
you
to
can
a minute.
apply
Yeah.
even if you have no gross revenue. Remember, you don't have to have gross revenue. You don't have to have employees in order to be eligible for SWaM certification.
Okay. So Marissa, I do event planning and need to get the cost of conference rooms, and the hotel would not provide the information.
I would not do it at that hotel.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're getting like the average cost, you may want to just maybe Google average cost for hotel conference rooms. A lot of times they do provide that information online, and it also could depend on what services are being provided. Typically for, when you're renting a conference room. So there are other ways to get that type of information if you're shopping your competition.
Okay. Do you want to address can you help me find my code? And then I think we need to wrap up.
Again, please reach out to either Chris or myself for assistance with helping you to find your NIGP codes.
And yes, again, those links will be provided when we send the follow-up email. So ladies, thank you so much. Wonderful information as always. And I want to thank everyone who attended today, who joined us today. All these wonderful questions help everyone learn. And a reminder, you will receive an email with a link to the recording and to the slides. If you would like to sign up for upcoming webinars or access recorded webinars, please visit virginiasbdc.org/training. This webinar and other SBDC resources are designed to be used in collaboration with your local SBDC advisors. You can sign up for a free and confidential session by emailing help@virginiasbdc.org or via our website. And we do hope to see you all at our next session. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, that was a lot.